I'm Malcolm Barratt-Johnson. I'm the Chief Medical Officer for Albert Labs. Albert Labs is a UK-based biopharmaceutical company focused on the use of psychedelics and particularly psilocybin in psychological treatment. We're focusing in the first instance on oncology-related anxiety. Why oncology-related anxiety? Because it's an undertreated area which we need to focus on acutely. It's also a very urgent need for patients because it's something which we believe up to 1.2 million patients in the UK alone need treatment for. My background is as a medical doctor. I still am a GMC registered doctor in the United Kingdom. I trained as an anaesthetist and intensivist in London. I've also acted and been a fully qualified assessor for the MHRA. The MHRA is a regulatory agency for the United Kingdom. I've also been a medical director for a number of companies in the UK, including AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Merck Sharp & Dohme. These are commercial companies which allow me to understand the commercial aspects of medical research and development. RWE is not new. It's been in existence ever since time immemorial in many ways. It's basically looking at patients in the setting in which they're currently being treated and using that evidence to produce data in the efficacy and safety space particularly, which will allow a licensing procedure and a medicine to be used commercially. Now, how does it differ from what we standardly know in terms of research, RCTs, randomised controlled trials? RCTs are a process by which you use a very small cohort generally of patients who are very well controlled, by which you can get data sets over a fairly limited time frame. This tends to be a very expensive procedure because it's set up particularly for that product, and also it's an incredibly elongated process and expensive process. RWE allows us to accelerate that process enormously and get a much better data set quicker. So why haven't we used up to this point for other conditions? It's mainly because the agencies involved, including the MHRA in London and the FDA, have had a lot more experience of it recently, unfortunately because of COVID. COVID-19 has allowed us and required us to develop new vaccines in a much more contracted time frame. And this has been using real-world evidence to do that. So the vaccines we now have are basically RWE vaccines in that respect. They're not RCTs. If we'd have done an RCT, it would have taken us up to 3 or 4 years. We didn't have that. So in Albert Labs, we perceive this to be, and we know it to be, the process by which we need to and wish to take forward our psilocybin. The benefit to using the UK as a centre of Albert Labs is because it has got some of the best research centres in the world, of which we're working with at the present time, and we're going to be working with over the next 1 to 2 years to accelerate the process for development. And also we have got one of the very best regulatory agencies in the world, the MHRA, and that's well recognised. Also, the MHRA has got very good understanding of the clinical development process. The clinical trials unit in the UK is regarded as being very proactive, it's very pragmatic in its approach, and it also understands the whole area of psychedelics as a group. It's licensed a number of these in terms of the clinical trials already, and with recent research being conducted within the UK, some of it from Imperial College in London, that's provided a lot of base to actually take it forward in the United Kingdom.